keep gazing on that thing that you want to actually accomplish. And when you have imagined where you want to be, you follow it up with plans. The power of imagination. What have you imagined in your heart to actually accomplish? Or what are you imagining now to fail to accomplish? Whatever it is you bring from your heart, it is actually likely that you get it at the end of the period. Now, if you might imagine that at the age of 20, as a young boy, as a little boy, you'll be in a university, for example, that gives you what you call planning. Because if you hear about the countries, or companies talking about budgeting and all that, these are projections that help to imagine where they want to be. And when you have imagined where you want to be, you follow it up with plans. And that imaginative tendency and psyche helps you to continually see where you want to be at any point in time. That is follow-up of your imagination. And of course, in management, when you hear people talk about supervision, what is supervision? That is supervision. A man that sees not just with the eye, but sees with the mind. That is supervision. The man that sees beyond what others are seeing. He sees what he wants to see without anybody seeing it. And when he sees that, he begins to walk towards it. And that is developed from the mind. And when it is developed, it becomes an imagination. And that imagination, every day you brood on it. And brooding on it means developing. And developing it means that, when you are developing a photograph, you say you bring the film. In those days when we used to have this Kodak sort of taking photographs. You take it to the developing room where it is dark. You put it there and somebody develops the film. Then after that, you bring it out again. Then you see it, whether it is fair or not. Maybe sometimes you see them putting it under the sun and all that before they put it back down to the machine and it is rolled out and you get a picture. That is imagination. That is how it works. So if you imagine in your heart how you want to accomplish a given task, it may be an individual, it may be a country, it may be a company, an organization. That which you arrive at any particular time is a function of what you have imagined to accomplish, in no time. So if you see a country that is talking about a long-term planning, you say 5-year plan, 20-year plan, or 20-year plan, or even a week, 1-week plan, and all that. You have seen in your heart or your mind what you want to accomplish within this period, and you continue to work towards it. And working towards it, does it mean you begin to now explain every day that this is what I have in my mind to do? No, you don't have to explain. All you keep doing is keep gazing on that destination. Keep gazing on that thing that you want to actually accomplish. In the case of a nation, in the case of nations, if you say you want to get to a level where you now begin to compete with the most advanced countries of the world, like in the case of America, which is number one in the economic progressive list. You want to be like America. That is a vision. And that is what you have. It's a vision. And it is imagination you have in mind as a leader of a nation. What do? You develop a plan to accomplish that. And once you're able to develop a plan, towards that, who will help you to now accomplish it? Can you accomplish it alone? No. You begin to also envision a situation where you get a minister of finance that is as good as what you have in the US. Competent, qualified. You begin to look at the minister who is in charge of technology as qualified as the one you have in the US. You begin to imagine also you bringing on board somebody who is the ambassador to maybe China, where you have a competitor, trying to overtake you now. I'm talking of America now. You are looking at some of all this. Now you begin to imagine where you stop at a bus stop as a leader, and you see a lot of persons are coming to embrace you, hailing you, appreciating what you are doing. You begin to imagine yourself coming on board to speak, and once people hear that you are coming on television to actually address the nation, you see everybody hurrying home to ensure that they catch a glimpse of you. You see yourself as a leader who, when he speaks, a lot of persons will believe him. And believing him means that they will take him for his words. And taking him for words means that his words are actually potent enough to bring food to the table of the people that are actually believing in such a person. You begin to see yourself as somebody who, after leaving office, still remains a reference point, such that even around the world, people can still be calling you to give one lecture or the other based on leadership and all that. You are using the power of imagination. But if you don't imagine anything, the mind can be occupied by anything. And that, of course, leads me to what the scripture says, because I'm a Christian also. The Bible talks about guarding your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. Therefore, it's just like saying that you build a wall of defense around your heart, that place where you imagine thoughts. And if you build a wall of defense around it, it means you don't allow that which is negative to come in. You only accommodate that which is positive. And when when you continue to allow such, you develop it to a point where it becomes part of you. You no longer use words that are vulgar. You don't longer use words that are unprogressive. You no longer use words that are offensive. So it comes up naturally, just like I'm speaking now, even though I'm just doing my best to stop struggling with the English language really. But I'm not looking at anything. It's coming up because over time, to the best of my ability, I have developed some things, imagined some things, and these things are within me. And as they are coming up, they are just coming naturally. And therefore, if you have imagined yourself to be the president of a country, if you imagine yourself to be the governor of a state, keep working on that imagination. Develop yourself along that line. Act along that line. Project yourself along that line. And associate along that line, because all these are possibilities. These are things that can actually help you to accomplish that which you also have in your mind to achieve. Because if you don't do all these things, and you just say, when I was 10 years old, I imagined that I was going to be so and so, and without working on it, it may not work. Because you have to develop that, like I give an example of film. You have to develop it like the film is always developed to a point where you now begin to see the picture clearly. It is when the people see the picture clearly that probably they will come to you to ask questions. How did you come to this place? Now, maybe you now explain. And if you explain, don't forget, your explanation can motivate other persons who probably may be thinking along that line. Let me give you an example again. The man called Barack Obama went to White House when he was 10 years old. His father took him there. And right from while he was there, he made up his mind that one day he was going to be the president of America. He didn't tell anybody. But what happened? He has been now the president of America, and he was there for 8 years. Well, let me stop here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course, click the notification button for similar contents. Bye-bye.